So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. Guys, I want to talk about some news that obviously, I've read. I've read that Bob Arum has come out and said that Terence Crawford is still in the running for a Manny Pacquiao fight. Now, I don't know what's going on with that situation. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence. Errol Spence hasn't fought for a very long time. Terence Crawford, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what's going on, at that side with Manny Pacquiao, with Terence Crawford. I don't know what's going on with. When was the last time Terence Crawford? When did Terence Crawford? Who did he fight? Kell Brook in November. And there's no news. We're in March. There's no news about his next fight. Canelo fought in December. He's already fought in February. We've already got his next fight in May. Terence Crawford is just like rotting away. We keep hearing rumors about Manny Pacquiao. We don't know what Manny Pacquiao. Then we're hearing Manny Pacquiao fighting Mikey Garcia. Then Bob Arum comes out and says that Manny Pacquiao is still in the running for fighting Terence Crawford. It's just very, very messy. It's kind of annoying because we don't know what's going on. It's frustrating the fans. And I don't know what's happening, if I'm totally honest with you. I don't know what's going on. And to be honest with you, I just don't know what to make of it. It's really frustrating, the welterweight division, because it just seems like we're not getting the big fights and the best fights. I don't know what's Errol Spence doing. I genuinely don't know what Terence Crawford's doing. These guys are so inactive. They're so inactive. What Spence fought in December, November. We're now in March, and there's no news. There's nothing about them. And it's just really, really frustrating. Then you hear like Pacquiao's going to fight Mikey. Then you hear Terence Crawford's still in the running. What do you make of all this nonsense?
I just think Bob Arum's just talking nonsense, really. I don't think he's serious. I think he's just saying stuff. I don't think Pacquiao and Terence Crawford is being made. It's just, maybe he's just saying it to keep the fans happy. I don't know, but I don't think that fight's happening anytime soon. I just think like Bob Arum talks rubbish about a lot of things. So I don't really trust the guy, to be honest. Like, he's probably just saying that, but nothing's actually happening in the background. I've heard Errol Spence a few times saying that Bob Arum's just lying, like on his Twitter and stuff. That he just talks nonsense. Like, he puts stuff out there that's not even true. Like Errol Spence was like last time. Bob Arum was like, he spoke to Al Heyman, and he's like, Errol Spence was the issue for the Terence Crawford fight that's happened.
Yeah, but forget what I'm trying to point out is that what's going on with these guys? What's happening? They're not fighting. There's no fight being made.
I think these guys need to take charge of their own career. Someone like Crawford, he's already past 30, right? He's 33 now, 34 years old. You got to realize he doesn't have that long left. How long is he going to fight for? 4 years, 3 years? How long does he have in the sport? You got to realize you want to stay as active as possible, so you get in as many fights, make as much money. But it just seems like these guys are just happy fighting once a year, and I don't agree with that. Once a year, like, you're not really, your fans are only seeing you once a year. That's not good enough.
Look at Canelo.
Yeah, look at Canelo. Like, he doesn't even, like, if he's at the stage where even like if he was to fight once a year, fair enough, because he's like
loaded.
Yeah, he's on a different level. But these guys are not even household names or anything yet. These guys should be trying to get out there every flipping 3-4 months, man. I don't know. Maybe they just think they're too big for their boots. I don't know. They got to take it from someone like Canelo. Like, he's fighting every 3-4 months. Is it bad management? Is it bad promotion? What is it?
He's only done that this year. Normally, Canelo fights twice a year.
At least he's fighting twice. These guys fight once a year, and that's the call it a day.
Yeah, they're very inactive, man. It's very inactive. It's disappointing. It's very disappointing that, Manny Pacquiao. See, what do you make of the situation about Bob Arum saying that Manny Pacquiao could fight Terence Crawford in the Middle East?
I don't agree. I just think he's just saying a lot of things.
Yeah, I know, but here's the thing. He said that the fight could happen in the Middle East. They're just Pacquiao's team trying to get the money up in the Middle East. But then we've heard that Manny Pacquiao's in negotiation with Mikey Garcia, and that fight's done. So what's going on?
Probably a Mikey Garcia fight's more probable to happen, because obviously Manny Pacquiao is with PBC now, and Mikey Garcia is with PBC. That's probably more probable.
Mikey Garcia is not with PBC. He's a free agent. He can do what he wants.
But what I'm trying to say, he's not with anyone, so obviously he can decide, where he goes and who he fights, what network he fights on. But he's definitely not going to fight on like Top Rank. So it'll happen, innit? That fight will probably happen. The Mikey Garcia, Manny Pacquiao. It's a lot easier to be made than the Crawford fight, because you've got to realize Bob Arum is a barrier at the moment. He's a big barrier, you know. So I just don't think that fight will happen because of Bob Arum. I think Bob Arum needs to, you know, put his ego to a side and, you know, just let Crawford fight on, you know, negotiate his own thing.
Yeah, I know, but the thing, that's not the fact. The fact
I don't
is,
even know whether
he's not. What's Bob? No, he is. What's Bob Arum got to do with making, like, he's saying that Pacquiao's people are going to the Middle East trying to get the money up for the fight because Pacquiao wants 30 or 40 million, whatever he wants for the fight.
So
and
who's going to be promoting the show then, if that's the case?
I don't know promotion wise what's going on. What I mean is that they're just looking to get up. I think what Bob Arum's going to do is going to cut off Crawford's purse. That's what he did with Teofimo Lopez when, you know, they did the purse bids and he got what, 4 million. Bob Arum got 800 grand out of that. So what I mean is he's just going to take a cut out of Crawford's purse because he's his promoter. But what I'm trying to point out is that what's going on. Obviously, Pacquiao's had his career; he's had a great career. But what's going on with Crawford? Do you think what needs to happen? The Pacquiao fight. Do you think that's ever going to happen? Pacquiao v Crawford. Do you think this Middle East stuff is going to come?
Could happen, you know, further down the line, and anything's possible, innit? You don't know, like, fights can happen, you know. I'm not going to say it won't happen, but at the moment it looks very unlikely. I don't think it's going to happen right now. That fight can happen, don't get me wrong, any fight can happen, but I just don't feel right now is sometimes timing is everything, and I just don't think that the timing is now for them to fight. I just don't feel like, I'm not getting that sort of vibe that this fight's going to be made right now. I think Pacquiao will probably fight Spence, and then maybe afterwards, you know, he might fight Mikey Garcia, and then maybe in 2022, 2023, might fight Terence Crawford. You got to realize we don't know what will happen by next year. Once the guy's out of contract, he might even go to PBC himself. So then all of this stuff, you know, being on the other side of the street, all gets wiped out. You know, fights are a lot easier made than that way, you know. So obviously you got to realize Crawford obviously needs to make a firm decision that, all right, where are all the welterweights in the, where are all the best welterweights at the moment? That's where I need to be so I can become undisputed, you know. But it's obviously on Crawford now what he, you know, plans on doing. But with Bob Arum, it's been a really tough road for Terence Crawford. You know, he's not really been able to, certainly at welterweight, sure, like, he's not been able to get the marquee fights at welterweight because it's just all that, you know, those PBC guys keep saying that he's on the other side of the street. I don't really understand that, but if that's the way it is, then you got to take action yourself. He's 33, 34 years old. Just once you're out of contract with him, just part ways, and, you know.
Yeah, but you know, Terence Crawford could have left Bob Arum. He could have left Bob Arum last time when he signed his extension. He himself signed an extension because he got a nice bonus or whatever. So Terence Crawford before could have left and gone to PBC and had these fights. But Terence Crawford himself decided to stay with Bob Arum. So it's his own fault. Teddy Atlas pointed this out on his own podcast, that he himself signed an extension with Bob Arum.
When was this?
This was like, I think in 2000, I can't remember exactly when it was. I think it was 2017 or 18. I can't remember exactly. But he signed an extension when he didn't need to, right? So really, Terence Crawford is only the one to blame because he could have left. He could have left and he didn't decide not to.
I think this time...
Yeah, this time
he'll probably definitely really think... If he signs an extension now, then he doesn't really want those fights, in my opinion. I just think he's capping, you know, because, you know, it's clear and crystal to see now what he needs to do.
Plus, what you got to realize is, like, all of these guys eventually ended up leaving Bob Arum. Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao. You know, all of these guys, right? You know, I know Manny Pacquiao left a little late, but Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, all the other great, like Teofimo Lopez, looks like he may leave.
He's going, to either DAZN or Triller.
Yeah, I know, but that's just for one fight. But what I mean is, eventually all these guys are going to they leave because
you've got to realize he's not putting up good money, man. Bob Arum, man, like, he's being ridiculous. Like, he wanted Sean Porter to fight, but he was only offering Sean Porter $1 million, and that's not right.
That's the second option. They're saying Bob Arum's basically saying if we can't get the Pacquiao fight in the Middle East, then we're looking at Sean Porter as an option B.
But he's already declined the offer.
Yeah, he has declined the offer, but maybe they might put an increased offer in.
Yeah, so maybe I think Sean Porter to get someone like a Sean Porter, he will at least want at least 2.5 to 3 million. At least, or that fight's not going to happen. No
Yeah,
chance.
I think the $1 million was a ridiculous offer.
At least 2.5 to 3
But then I
million
saw
dollars.
some of Porter's purses, and he's been not being paid that much. Like he was paid like a million, 1.25 million, 1.5. Like this isn't a guy that's got paid a lot of money. This isn't a guy that gets big purses.
You know, I've seen that. You know, some people, you know, they're very. I think he's probably a type of guy where I don't think he's that bothered about the money. Crawford doesn't come across the guy where he wants to make a lot of money. Do you know what I'm saying? He doesn't see.
Everyone wants to make a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't think the way he comes across, because if that was me and I had the talent he had, you better believe I'm going to where the money is.
Yeah, but bruv, what you got to understand, you're not understanding what I'm saying. He's not bothered about the accolades and the fact that, I want to be like Canelo and have 30 million a fight, 40, 50 million. He's not like that. He's not like a Mayweather where it's all about the money. Yeah, I get that. I buy that. But he wants to make big money. Of course he does. He wants to be a star. You think he doesn't want to be these things. But there's something lacking within him that's stopping him. There's something within Terence Crawford that's stopping him. Either he's not he's not very marketable. There's something within him that's obviously.
I think if he was to go somewhere else, he would get paid a little bit more than that 1.2.
Yeah, but he's not. No, Crawford. I'm saying Crawford gets paid good money. Crawford gets paid 5 million a fight. Crawford gets paid good money, man. I was talking about Sean Porter.
Okay.
I wasn't talking about Crawford. Crawford gets paid a lot of money, but 5 million, 5.5 million for pound best. That's not a lot nowadays. You know, you see guys like, you know, for example, Amir Khan got 7 million to fight Billy Dib. You know, I know Khan's obviously a globally more bigger name than Crawford, more recognized around the world, and obviously he has links in Saudi Arabia and stuff. But the fact of the matter is that a pound for pound best, like look at Canelo, for example, he gets like 30, 40 million a fight. Now Crawford, for some reason, his name's just not got he's just not got that push. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether people just don't find him. I don't know. I've always found it strange that a guy, he's a good guy. He's a nice guy. He's down to earth, but he's for some reason, he just doesn't seem to get that push. He doesn't seem to get I don't know. I don't know what it is, you know. And most importantly, here's the problem. He's not an asset to Bob Arum. So Bob Arum feels like I'm paying him a lot of money and I'm making a loss on this guy.
I don't even think Bob Arum would care if he was to leave.
Oh no, I don't think so.
If he's making a loss from him, then
no, he wouldn't.
I would
that's why he does. That's why he says all of these things, because I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares. Like Manny Pacquiao became when Manny Pacquiao left Bob Arum, I feel like Manny Pacquiao wasn't delivering him huge money, even though I think Manny Pacquiao was still such a big cash cow compared to Crawford and these guys. So I do think Bob Arum was hurt a little bit, but he thought Crawford and Lopez and these type of guys would step up and start making him a lot of money. It's not worked out to be the case. So now Bob Arum's kind of in a position where he's got no cash cows. He's relying on Fury and that Joshua fight to, you know, he hasn't got any. No, really. Yeah, really, if you think
about it, like, how old is he? 90 years old now? Like.
Yeah, I know, I get that, but the thing is, that's what Eddie Hearn was saying. He don't really care, so he says anything. But
yeah, 'cause he's that old now. You don't even know how long he's gonna be here.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The thing is, it's like he just says the truth. So the fact when he says Crawford's not making him money, and he's probably saying the truth. But the fact of the matter is that at the end of the day, Bob Arum's a promoter. It's his job. Crawford's job's to fight. It's his job to promote him. But at the end of the day, like, it's not Crawford's fault he's born in America. And in America, it seems like these fighters of today, that the good American fighters in America today just don't seem to have that appeal. The Americans have switched off boxing. They're not really that into boxing. You know, we don't get Mike Tyson figures in America anymore. We don't get those kind of global recognized fighters. Mike Tyson was a global icon, right? Unfortunately, Terence Crawford...
The Mexican fighters are going massive now.
Yeah, but that's because most of these guys have country... But look at all the fighters that have come to America. Apart from Floyd Mayweather, right? Nobody of recent times has really cracked the American market, like American. Apart from Floyd Mayweather, like Errol Spence, Crawford, all of these guys, not really... They're not, you know, Canelo, you would say, is a household name, but he's a Mexican. Yeah. You know, if you look at Manny Pacquiao, he's again a Filipino. You know, all the guys that have come from other countries, like Golovkin, again from Kazakhstan. You know, all of these guys that have come from other countries, they're because they've got a whole country behind them, whereas Americans don't seem to get behind their fighters. And unfortunately, you've got guys like Crawford struggling. You know, they're not really household names. And listen, Crawford, like you said, he's the type of guy that he's just relaxed.
I think one American that is going to become a household name, that is becoming big, is Gervonta Davis.
Possibly, yeah, maybe he might.
That's
Ryan Garcia as well, maybe.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia is Mexican though. Like, he's Mexican heritage.
Nah, he's American, man. He's
No,
American
I'm saying
Mexican.
that obviously he's
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but
Mexican.
but I still feel he's born in America.
Yeah, he's born in America, but
Gervonta is definitely
he's like just born and bred in America.
Like Andy Ruiz is American Mexican. He's not. Yeah, I know he went to, like, he's, you know, of course, but they're American. Even Oscar De La Hoya, they were American. Oscar De La Hoya fought for USA in the Olympics. So here's the thing, man. Here's the thing that, like you said, Crawford, good fighter, but he needs that Manny Pacquiao fight. And Bob Arum, the reason why he's trying to get that Manny Pacquiao fight is because he knows that fight will be in America. Like, he won't have to put up the money for that fight. You know, the money will be put up by the Middle East, right? So Bob Arum's got nothing to lose. He's not going to be putting up the money, and he's just going to be taking a cut out of Crawford's purse. So he's not having to do a lot. It's when Bob Arum's having to put up the money, right? That's where he's struggling, because he feels that Crawford's making a loss. So when he put up the money to make the Kell Brook fight, he's making a loss on that fight, because he's paying Crawford a purse, he's paying Kell Brook a purse, and unfortunately that fight's not delivering for them financially. So I can understand his position, but he really needs this Manny Pacquiao fight, because again, Porto will be another fight that where Bob Arum would make a loss, because that fight's not going to go to the Middle East. That's going to be another fight that they're going to do in America, right? And is that fight going to make big money?
I don't think so.
I don't think so at all. So let's be honest that it's going to be difficult, man. It's going to be difficult. Terence Crawford is struggling to dig out opponents. And it's sad. It's sad that, you know, he's struggling to you know, pick out opponents. You know, it's... Listen, man, let's hope that Terence Crawford gets the fight with Manny Pacquiao. I would like to see that over Mikey Garcia for sure. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.